but I'm the new NPC, the polar bear for you and for me. His name is Lou because he lives in an igloo like a polar bear might do if he chomped a little Eskimo, but I don't advocate for that. I'm all about peace and positivity, but maybe you get hungry in the cold, especially because they don't want to bring cooking in the way that we were told. Farming is fun, but the pumpkins are old, and sometimes the squash and the corn, they grow mold, so I need this polar bear named Lou to arrive. Please update Pascal, Nintendo. This is what you need to do. The holidays are right around the corner, and I can feel it in my heart, but I can also feel some of the lifeblood of this game being sucked out because the updates have been so spaced out. We need that winter update, and I think we're about a week away from finding out. So I've got some big update talk for you today. The wanted ones from all y'all and from me. Franklin is on the hoodie, Brewster is on the hat, and you, like the holidays, are right in my heart. Thanks so much for being awesome. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Staying safe, staying healthy, staying smart out there. Let's get right into it. No BS, no delay. Ultra Poop 21, one of the weirdest names I've ever heard. I'm going to do a spin for him, or her. I'm going to do 2 spins. Simple Brewster update. You got it. And I've had a change of tune. You know, I initially thought that Brewster I was resigned to the fact that he wasn't coming till 2021. I thought that was it. You know, every time we talk about updates, I talk about updates, it's like, hey, I need Brewster. And you guys kind of stopped saying it. Remember, this is your wanted updates. You guys can join the Discord, link in the description down below, and post what you think is coming to the game to be featured in one of these videos every week. Nobody really talks about Brewster because we just assume he's not coming, but I have a change of tune. Why not Brewster this update? That's what I say. It just makes sense. It's the wintry season. It's cozy cuddle time. Right? We need coffee and cocoa to keep us warm, and I don't see why Nintendo would take one of their most beloved characters and relegate him to year 2. They'd love to get Animal Crossing kicking and screaming for this holiday rush. They know they're going to sell so many Switches, and why not boost Animal Crossing in a way that says, hey, Hazel, today is not your day. Can you please get off my island? I'm not here to play, and I definitely have a proclamation. You really cannot stay. If I may, please go away. I used to not love you, and it's still that way. But Brewster's my boy, and I think the roost is going to come. The big news is, where does it come? And I think really based on the datamine, we can't ignore that they said it was going to come in the museum. I'm now 75% sure that Brewster is going to arrive in the winter update. Franklin and Jingle, yes, they're 2 characters. They were on the face of the title card, but they're just day guys. They're not lifers, and that's what Brewster will be. So I'm hopeful. Angela, 25, keeping it real for us. I also want to be able to terraform with a friend. Boom. Simple update. Simple, right? We kind of forgot quality of life because we just assume Nintendo does not care anymore, and it sure seems like they do not care anymore. They haven't really introduced anything that would be very easy in terms of batch crafting, batch buying. They don't want to make our lives more quality. Their lives are quality. They've sold nearly 30 million copies of this game, and the Switch is having the best year ever. But could you make our life a little more quality? I'd really appreciate it, Angela. That's a great one. One thing I think this game needs is more multiplayer interactivity, more incentive to play multiplayer. Besides these slow, delayed flights across the sea to your island with me, I really want there to be more things that we can do together. Minigames are the big one that everybody asks for. We see that almost every week in these videos, and I think we really need terraforming together, a way to modify the islands and a way to work on these spaces together. If we're not going to get bigger islands, if we're not going to get new buildings, if we're not going to get a massive hub island, which is my dream, then at least let us play with our friends in more interesting and exciting ways. Please. Destiny dreams of a better ghost, a ghoul with the most. I want Wisp to give you items, clothing that you can only get from him after you collect his spirit pieces, kind of like Gulliver gives you exclusive items after you collect the pieces to his communicator. Yes, thank you, Destiny. That should be our destiny. Wisp should be a whole lot more awesome than he is. I think he is competing with Label for weakest NPC right now, and that's something I want to say about my little ethereal friend, but I really wish he did give us better items. Right now he just puts me to sleep. In fact, I literally just sleep. I don't even bother going to see him, which is kind of sad. All the other NPCs, hey, they arrive, you high-five them, you say hello, you check their wares, but Wisp, he's got nothing, and it would be so great if they could give us some NPC updates, right? I understand not wanting to constantly throw new NPCs in there because they have given us quite the cast. There's a lot of characters. They come as they wish throughout the week, and it's pretty darn fun. But I do think that Wisp needs something more. A ghostly set inspired by the Haunted Mansion, Disney crossover, heck yes. That's not going to happen. We at least could get some unique items that would be fitting for a little spirit, and I hope that one day they give Wisp the specialness that he deserves. Victoria C, coming in with the comment of the day, delivering the character that I want to arrive on the shores of my island. Make Pascal just for spring, summer. Okay, this is interesting. I've heard a lot of people say, Pascal is quite boring. What do you do once you collect the entire mermaid set? Diving is a whole, there's the deep sea creatures, those change with the months, but Pascal doesn't ever update. So Victoria says, when autumn hits, he could be replaced by a new polar bear NPC. He would appear in the same way, do the same thing, but have his own DIYs. Yes, this is brilliant. This is what we need. Polar bear, please. Bring your cute, cuddly, white, fluffy body to me. He would be so adorable. He could even have like a little silly pun where he's like cold in the winter, even though he's a polar bear. Like, why are you cold? You're supposed to be a polar bear, but he's like, oh gosh, I don't have a lot of meat on my body. I'm freezing. He could even ride in on an ice cube. He could ride in on like a little ice float. This could be our ticket to getting iced over ponds, figure skating. Okay, the mind just goes and goes, but I love this. Polar bear NPC to help populate Pascal's place when he can no longer provide new items. So much of these things, once they're out, they're out. And Animal Crossing is about playing again and again. So when the bug tournaments, you've got all the prizes. When Pascal, you've got all the mermaid DIY. We need something else to incentivize us, right? I think this would be fantastic. I love the polar bear. I can just see it now. You're swimming, relaxing, maxing, chilling, really chilling because it's cold, it's winter. And you got your wetsuit on keeping you warm, and this polar bear arrives on this little ice float. Maybe he's even got a snow cone or a popsicle, and he's like, dude, it's so chilly out, but I'm the new NPC, the polar bear for you and for me. His name is Lou because he lives in an igloo like a polar bear might do if he chomped a little Eskimo, but I don't advocate for that. I'm all about peace and positivity, but maybe you get hungry in the cold, especially because they don't want to bring cooking in the way that we were told. Farming is fun, but the pumpkins are old, and sometimes the squash and the corn, they grow mold, so I need this polar bear named Lou to arrive. Please update Pascal, Nintendo. This is what you need to do. Since we're speaking about the special place where the sand doth live, Cookie says, I would like to modify the beach area of my island, put down paths, terraform, etc. This is a big one. This is one that I've wanted since the beginning. It's like, why does the beach get left out? Why is the beach the middle child of the island? No, I don't think we're ever going to get an expanded island. I know a lot of you would want that so that it could include more buildings, that you could do bigger, bolder designs, but I don't think that's going to happen. One way, though, we could improve our design chops is if the beach was added as another place for creative play. They don't want to do it. And I understand the beach just has some different elements that kind of require it to be its own thing. But there's no reason. Look, at the end of the day, this is a video game. And it's code and it's X's and O's. It's ones and zeros. And this floor right here, like this grass that I'm walking on now, or this path that I'm walking on now, or this dirt that I'm walking on now, or these pumpkins, like they're all still code. There's no reason that we couldn't have Eric be residing on a really comfy deer dotted path on the beach. And I think terraforming the beach would be fantastic. If you could have little sand hills, undulation, waterfalls on the beach, or maybe introduce some new terraforming options, right? Maybe we could dig even deeper. Maybe we could make little coves. Maybe we could make little caves. Caves. So we have cliffs and waterfalls on the land, and we have caves and coves on the beach. Gosh! Cookie, that's a great one. I'm eating it up like it's white macadamia, and I'm really ready for some beach modification. Craig B looks to the future, which we always love to do, and says, when that Mario furniture set comes, or whatever they decide to bring in March of next year, 2021, I want them to make a pipe. It's a functional piece of item. You can place a maximum of 2 down, and you can use them to get to places quickly. Quick teleportation around your island would be so fun, and such a great inclusion of Mario's essence. I really hope that Nintendo goes all out. They have all these characters, all these IP, all these franchises, and inevitably they're going to have future releases. Use Animal Crossing, your most popular game of the time, your biggest seller eventually. It's going to get there. I know it will. Use this game to advertise, to promote, to hype for these other games. Hey, when Splatoon 3 is about to come out, I want to see Inklings descend upon our island, or at least an Inkling-themed villager. Okay, when the Mario-themed furniture, yes, give us the pipes. And maybe even, hey, Mario's 3D World, Bowser's Fury just released in late February, and then this is coming in March. Give us some cool items from there, something that's a throwback to 3D World, a little cat suit from the game for our character to wear. I think this would be brilliant. Nintendo, I'm looking at you to get it done. Craig, I like the idea. I think it would be a ton of fun, and I hope that the Mario set isn't just a hat, which is what I predicted it is. I know it's a sucky prediction. I've said it on Nook Talk, but I really think the Mario update that they advertised as part of the Mario 35th, like, oh, Mario Cross Animal Crossing is going to be his hat and his overalls. And I hope that I'm wrong. I hope there's more items. I hope there's something to do with the villagers, maybe even like a Rover's Maze style maze. I hope they go bananas and even bring Donkey Kong too. But I foresee them doing the least that they can get away with, and that worries me. But Craig, I love your idea, man. Asher13 says, I want to see some sort of dancing reactions. There's another whole page of blank reactions, and I think... There's another whole page of blank reactions. I think it would be really cool to add some that make you do different dance. I had this dream that I couldn't say words. I was recording a video, and I thought I said them all correct, and I went back, and I watched it. I was like, I'm not saying anything correct. I hope that's not the case. Fingers crossed it wasn't a premonition, but just a silly, pretty dream. There's another whole page of blank reactions, and I think it would be really cool to add some that make you do different dance moves or something. Thinking forward, it would be cool to add something like this during Carnival with Pave. Remember, Pave is still a NPC that we expect to be arriving next year, right? So we did not have him this year because of the timing of the release, but we should have him next year. And I think dances would be really cool, right? The reactions are pretty fun. I like what we have. I really think they're kind of interesting. Haunt and Scare are my two favorite just because they're the most involved, I think. But I know a lot of people like all the other ones as well. There's Fearful, there's Glee, but Glee is not enough of a dance, I think. I mean, our characters, our villager friends can sing, they can do yoga, so can we get some dance moves? I think it would be good. Dancing and all of that, kind of a part of the Animal Crossing lore, so it makes sense to introduce it, and Pave seems to be the person, but we'll probably have to wait until February for that to take shape, if it does at all. But dance moves, just not TikTok dances. And last but certainly not least is a great idea from Raymond the Awesome Cat. The actual Raymond? Dude, like the rare Raymond villager that everyone used to love, maybe still does love. Is this actually you? Either way, he's got a really good idea. I think it'd be cute if you could send bottles with DIY and messages written inside them. It would be exactly the same like random villagers do, but it would work on Nintendo Online. So the bottle would be sent to some totally random person in the world. When they can read it, they can go to Orville and tell him to analyze the message, and he will tell you who sent it. Now, I don't think Nintendo would want to expose your identity because they're so protective with their friend code system, but I love the idea of random bottle messages. They would just have to go through Nintendo's PG filter to make sure that everything was kosher and cool. But I love this. You could just send a surprise to someone. It would be really fun. And maybe you could get rewarded. Like they could rate it, or they could send you without knowing you, they'd send you back a prize, or just by sending it, you got like a Nook Mile ticket, some incentive and reward for it. But also just know that you're spreading goodness. There's so many great people that play this game. So many of you are those people. So many fun, happy, positive, loving faces. I adore you guys. And I think this would be a great way to just spread joy. We can't hug villagers. Okay, we can barely play together. The minigames have not materialized, but the messages would be quite cute. And I think all these ideas would be awesome. Which one do you want most? Brewster is in my heart and who I have to have for this holiday season. And I'm 75% sure he's going to come. I don't know why I resigned myself to 2021, but now I am pretty positive. I hope. And I think that update is right around the corner. We're going to get that trailer soon. I got you covered, so make sure to subscribe, smash that like button, high-five me in the comments. Have a fantastic rest of your day. A lot of good ideas today. That polar bear, ooh, he brought my rap game out, and he really gets me going. So I'd love to see a new NPC, and I'd love to see you on the next video. So until that time, stay safe, stay healthy, stay smart out there. Have a fantastic rest of your day. You guys are amazing. SwitchForce, out.